Database activity. The database activity in Moodle is a way that you can collect information from students using a set of fields that you will create inside of the activity. So let me show you how this works. So I'm going to go down here and select database. Now the first thing we have to do is give the database a name. So let's call this American President Database. And then in the introduction, we'll type in some information here for the students. In this database, you will select a president and gather information for our reference tool. Now again, the database works on a prescribed set of fields that you will create. So here, the first thing that we run into is this available from and viewable from dates. By default, they're disabled so that the database is always viewable and always available. However, you can change this by unchecking any of these boxes. Available means that the students can work on it. Viewable means that the students can see it. So if you want the students to be able to see it but not do anything with it, then you can make it viewable but not available, or available and not viewable, depending on what you want. Required entries. This requires a student to make a specific number of entries, anywhere from 1 all the way to 50. So I'll set this to 1. And then entries required before viewing. You can also set it up so that the student has to create an entry in the database before they can view the other students' entries. So that's completely up to you. Maximum number of entries. You can also set a maximum number of entries that the student can make. So let's say we'll set the minimum to 1 and the maximum to 5, so they can only put 5 entries in. Comments, yes or no. This allows students to leave comments on a specific database entry. Require approval, yes or no. If you have this set to yes, then the student has to the database post will have to be approved by you before it actually hits the database. Allow posts to be rated, yes or no. If you check this box, it allows you to grade the database posts. So we'll set this to 10 points. And we'll click Save and Return to Course. Now this is just step 1 in setting up the database. So let me scroll down and I'll show you how to finish the rest of it. So this sets up the database link right here. So I'm going to click on the link and it takes me into the database. Now what I have to do is I have to go in here and I have to set up my fields, which I do right here. You can see Create New Field. So here, these are all the different fields that I can use. And if you check the little question mark box right here, it'll pop open this and show you, and it'll show you, it shows you here what all the different fields are. So I'm going to just start with a text field because obviously the first field in here is going to be name of president. Now the field name is what is in the database. The field description is what the student actually sees. Now you also have this checkbox here that reads Allow Autolink, and what that does is once the database is established and an entry goes in, say I do the President Abraham Lincoln. Now if I type into the course somewhere else in a web page or a text page or something like that, the words Abraham Lincoln, they'll be highlighted in kind of a pink bar, and when the student hovers over that word or words, they'll see the database entry for that particular set of words. So you can allow this or not allow it. So I'm going to click Add. Okay. Now I'm going to add another one, and I'm going to do BD for birth date. Do another date field, do DD for date of death, now this one, the next one, I'm going to do a, let's see, I'm going to do a menu, which will allow me to select something from a list. So political party. So what I'd want to do in here is enter in as many of the political parties as I can. So we have to remember that some of the political parties are older, so we have to enter in as many as we can. Okay, and that should be sufficient for now. And then finally, I'll put in a text field. We'll just make it very general here. Click Add. Okay, so now I have all my fields set up. If I need to edit or delete any of these fields, I can edit by clicking this button, or I can delete fields by clicking this button. So the next thing I need to do is I need to set up a template for this, or else people can't enter the information in. This is actually really simple. All you do is click Templates, and then scroll down to the bottom and click Save Template. That's all you have to do. Now this template is saved. Now what I can do is I can actually go and click Add Entry. And now you can see the database is ready to go. So I can enter in a president. And I don't know his birth dates, so I'll leave that blank. And click Save and View. Okay, if I click View Single, here's my entry for Ronald Reagan. I can also search. It allows me to search on the name field, the party field, okay, anything like that. I can click View a List, and that gives me a list of all of the presidents. So that is how you add and utilize the database tool in Moodle.